Hey everybody, I'm Steven and I'm going to take you through Thor Four Winds today. Alright, so first thing, you're going to close this door. That's your electric step. Pulls in and out as you open and close the door. You got your storage compartments down here. Light, see through. It overpasses so you can put like chairs and whatnot up there. But it's just a small little space inside that, so you have your bigger goods in here. Up here you're going to see the register for your fridge vent. This is just to protect it from the elements, give it airflow through here to cool off your cooling unit on the back of it and send it up the roof, as this is a self-absorption refrigerator. Backside of your furnace, nothing much to see here. You may want to get you some bug screens if you're out in the woods so that bugs aren't crawling in there making nests and whatnot. These two, you won't really ever have to remove those other than for service. Now here you've got your RBEQG 3600 LP generator. This generator runs off of LP, your gas, your propane. It is not a gasoline generator. So everything that you do with this particular generator is going to pull from your LP storage. Just click on this, is you just want to pull it back to prime it. Give it about 5 to 10 seconds. If you've recently primed it, you shouldn't need to do this part, but here we are. On these generators, you want to service them every 50 to 100 hours. And not only that, every month you want to let this thing run for an hour or so at least, just to keep your carburetor from clogging up. When you are done with your generator, whether you're servicing it or just taking a look at it or doing whatever, make sure the face always goes back on, because this thing cools itself from this face. Got you another little storage area over here. This one isn't very big, but that's good for smaller things. Whether it be your hose, you've got leveling blocks. Down here, you're going to notice you've got a quick connect in case you want to put a little outdoor grill over here. It's just runs off of your propane line. You've got a little shut-off valve for it right here. Alrighty. Just additional storage for your unit, and this thing's got a little storage, so that's good. You've got weight limits and stuff in here, so just be mindful of these. This is the face of your water heater. This particular water heater is tankless. All you need to do for this particular water heater is make sure you've got your gas on, and make sure you have your there's a switch, going to be a switch inside that turns this thing on. And when you call for supply for water, whether you're turning on a faucet or turning on your shower, it's going to receive the demand based on what side you're turning on. So if you're turning on the hot side, it's going to kick propane on, and it's going to heat it as it flows through these coils inside of here. You won't ever have to turn this thing, open this too much unless you're performing a service, so just leave it closed. Up here, we've got your fresh water fill port. It's just got a hose that goes directly to your freshwater tank. Be careful on overflowing these. It is okay if you overflow them. You will receive water should come out right here and drain down, but still just be mindful of your monitor panel on the inside of the unit. Once it reads full, you want to come out here and shut it off to prevent any sort of leaking or anything like that, because as water expands and reaches this fill point, if it does not have enough flow, it will open up other areas for water to pass. Okay, down here you've got your tow hitch. all of your everything that you need to know is on here. If you're pulling a trailer, you don't want to pass the gross capacity weight rating on it. Just be mindful of it. You've got another thing down here that tells you how many pounds you can have on the tongue and how many pounds it will pull. And you have your 7-pin right here. Coming over this side, this is just an area where you store your 30 amp power cable. This thing is hardwired into your unit, so you just have to push it back in and close this up when you're done with it. You also have, in the case you don't want to leave this open, you have a little port right here where you can run your power cord down and keep pests from getting inside. Or make it a little harder at the very least. Down here, you're going to have your dump stations. You've got two. And one of the ways you can tell these apart is from your sewer outlet and your wastewater, or the color of your handles, because your gray tank is going to be for your sink, for your shower, and the black is going to be for your toilet. The handles are color coded, and you can also tell by the size of the pipe. Your typical gray water is always going to have 1.5 inches, and your black water is always going to be 3 inches, so solids and stuff can pass through them. When you go to dump this thing, you're going to want to dump the black first and then dump the gray. What is in the gray is going to be much cleaner than what is in the black, and it will also help push the odor down when you go to dump it and clear your hose, so when you're picking it back up, you don't have a bunch of nasty water. Well, you ain't got a bunch of nasty water that's going to be getting on you. Over here, that freshwater tank for the port on the back of it, this is going to be where your release is for the water. It is small, it will take time, but as long as you start it early before you're leaving or whatnot, it'll probably take around 30 minutes to fully drain. For your Furion TV, this is going to be more or less for your satellite connections or cable connections at your RV parks. Not much to talk about there. You just, once you get to an RV park, you hook it up and that's it. Your city water connection, that is going to be for your main water supply from the spigot versus your fresh water. Your fresh water is more for that boondocking style, out in the woods where there's no water supply. This is campground. This is just from where you put on a spigot. Typically, what I would recommend when you put one of these on, just to keep from any accidents as the unit gets older, some of the fittings get a little more brittle, is get you a water regulator. The water pressure in these systems are designed to be at 55 psi, and those regulators will automatically put that at it when you put it on here. It's a little golden orange piece that you can buy here at Camping World or other retailers. You just put it on this end and then screw your water hose into that, and it will put the water pressure at safe levels. Over here, you've just got your little outdoor shower. I personally would recommend showering on the inside, but you know, you can spray kids as they run by, and yeah, it's fun for everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and close this up. For this, it's going to be a 751 key. Got the little hose my way right there. There we go. Alright, coming down to over here, you've got another storage compartment. Looks like you have little clips here for a broom. Down here, you're going to have your flush line. That is what's going to clean out your black tank. Sometimes you get stuff stuck on the sensors inside of the black tank. You will have a sensor at the 1/3 mark, the 2/3 mark, and the full mark. Sometimes toilet paper or poop can get stuck on those sensors, and this is how you wash that off. Each time you go to dump your black tank, you're going to want to let this run. You just plug your water hose into it and let it go into the black tank. But the main thing that you want to know is when you run this, you want that black tank valve to be open. That way the water's coming out and not filling up. Just got your another light over here. And this, you'll notice this little box right here. This is your Schwintech operation board. This is for your slide out. It controls the motors on each part of the top of your slide out, and it is designed to synchronize them. You've got a bunch of diagnostics right here that will tell you whatever is wrong with it based on a light that beeps on inside of here. We are all good there. You shouldn't have any issues with that, but it's just there for your knowledge. coming over here, we are at the propane ASME tank. So on this tank, you will notice that you do not have quite 3/4 of this tank. That is because the temperature is lower out here and vapor expands. There is a certain safe level that these tanks need to be at, which is 80% full. This will vary. This isn't always accurate. Due to the temperature being colder, it's going to read a little lower, as when it is hotter, that vapor expands and pushes more pressure and adds more pressure to this to cause it to go down further. These tanks are not designed legally to go above 80% full. So if you see it at that full mark, there may be something wrong. I would just be careful with that. You do have this fill port over here. When you are filling it, you want this to be open. When you are ready to, when it starts spitting out a white vapor, that is liquid propane coming out. You want to turn off the propane and let that bleed till there's nothing but clear coming out of there. That way you know you do not have liquid propane above that 80% mark. That is law, and just be careful with that, because these things, as temperatures rise, it will expand and it can cause damage. I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's a rare occasion, but it's for your knowledge and your safety. Down here, looks like you've got a spot where you can store your dump hose. Actually, it's got a little pipe that runs back here, so that's pretty handy. It's an odd place to put it, but it's handy. Alright, let's walk around here and close off some of these, and we will go to the inside. Thought I closed that thing before. Alright, coming on inside the Four Winds. Your panel board is going to be over here. You're going to have the start and stop prime for your generator, so that you do not have to do it out there. You can do it in here. You got your step light, or I'm sorry, your step altogether to turn it on or off. Your ceiling lights, your slide in and out, your water pump for when you're dry camping out in the woods and you have that tank full. That will pull the water from the tank and send it to your faucet, to your shower, to your toilet. That way you have water flow when you're not on a spigot. Okay, so we got that. Tank heaters, this model was not equipped for it, so they put these little black covers here to cover the switches. This particular board was used for many different models, so when you see those and notice that there's not a switch there, it's probably that they were meant for a bigger model, and this particular board was put on there. So you do have a light for your propane. You've got your battery. You got your fresh water, which looks to be full. You got your black water and your gray water. The little may have had something a little on there, but it is empty. All right. For now, so you can see it, I'll go ahead and turn the water pump on. That way we have water running to the unit. Down by the door, you have your fire extinguisher. These things are good for 6 to 7 years. Once you pass that mark, it's just a good idea to have them changed out. Let's see. If you follow me to this other side, you've got your awning light, your step light, your battery cutoff for your house batteries, which are located down here. I'll show you now. You've got 2 brand new batteries put on here, and they are currently wired in parallel. If you ever go to replace the battery, just make sure that they are wired the same way. I'll get that here in a minute. So, like I said, your battery cutoffs. So when you're leaving this thing in storage, you're going to want to turn this off. Your awning, you got your in and out for it. whatever you're going for. You'll see this outlet right here. You'll notice it's got your GFCI sticker on that. That means that it is in circuit with your GFCI. Your GFCI is an outlet that's placed near the source of water. In the case that water gets in the outlet, there's a short, it will protect all your devices further downstream from that outlet. Got your TV up here. Cabinets. You're going to find your documentation up here, the remotes for your TVs, and more documentation for the Mercedes side of things. Let's go ahead and open this side up. I forgot all about it. Got your up bunk up here. Got your extra mattress up here and your ladder stored in the back. All right. Dinette. You can turn this into a bed by pulling this lever right here and dropping the table down. You just apply a little bit of force with your hand and it will rest on these lips. You will have to move the cushions to do that, but once you've got that taken care of, you put the cushions back on top and you spread them out. It's just an extra bed for guests, for kids, for I would, if it's an adult, I'd recommend sleeping on the bed. All right, just standard storage. Microwave right down here. You'll hear that water pump kick on. Actually, this one's pretty quiet. That's a good thing. Alrighty. Your GFCI is actually going to be over here. If you ever see a red or an orange light on this thing, you just want to push that in to reset it. Nothing too crazy to see here, just additional closet storage, drawers. Same with your medicine cabinet and more storage for your medicine cabinet. Down here, you will be able to access your storage via that side. Your water heater, if you ever have to have it changed out or you want to take a look at it or switch it out yourself, maybe you've got this panel right down here that just needs to be removed as well. You got lights up here for your bed in case you want to read. Over here you do have your Coleman Mach thermostat. When you are using this thing, you want to keep it in the auto position. If you take it out of auto and put the fan on high or low, when you go to run your heat, because it is in circuit with the fan motor for your AC, it will run that. So if you keep it in the auto, it will choose which fan it's going to run. So that's a good thing. So just turn it down to 55 or so depending on where you're at. If you're in New Hampshire, it may get a little be a little more easy to live with 70. But here in Texas, it gets real hot and we like it real cold. So you just, of course, just turn it to the cool or just turn it to the heat. And then turn it up and you hear the furnace kick on. The one thing is when you turn on your furnace, just make sure you have your gas on, as it is gas as well. There will be about a 30 to 60 second purging cycle when you run your furnace to clear out any debris that may be stuck inside of there. It is a safety feature to keep things from igniting inside of that and causing issues with your furnace. Coming through here, just got your bathroom. Pretty standard setup. Your shower curtain is actually just a clip. Push it out. I actually prefer these a lot more than the other ones. One, you won't have glass rattling around back here, and frankly, it's going to hold water better than your shower curtains and stuff like that. Additional storage. Got you a fart fan up here. Light switch, and this is going to be that panel board for operating your tankless water heater. So you've currently got it on. The thing is you want to run your hot water. This thing will kick on, and you will notice the temperature changing on here. You'll see the fan kick on, and there should be a fire kicking on here in a minute. See that flame? Your temperature is going to be rising in your water, and the up and down is for you to adjust the temperature. And it is getting hotter as we speak. Let's see if... Not exactly sure how to turn that out of Celsius, but you're able to... Oh, look at that.
There it is.
Go ahead and turn that a little higher. It did get warm, but it was not blazing hot like I like. And that is just about the end of the toilet. I'm not sure that there is much else that you need to see. Toilet, just standard kick down. If you want to have water in the toilet while you're using it, just a light tap and slowly let the water build up inside of it. And once you're done, simple kick down and you are good to go. Oh, well, looky there, your refrigerator. One last thing. Well, two last things. I'm so sorry. So, this is your Norcold. It is one of your your heat absorption refrigerators. It uses airflow and heat on the outside to cool off the cooling unit on the back side of this fridge to create your cold temperatures in here. You do have a temperature setting down here. You have your auto setting. Of course, your off setting basically turns it off, and your propane setting. So typically what I tell people to do is keep in the auto setting. What that's going to do is it's going to run it off the most efficient route it possibly can go. So if you're plugged in, it's going to run off of your 110. Lightning strikes, you lose power, you've got food in here, it will automatically switch to that propane so long as there is gas available for it to run off of. That way you never have to worry about things spoiling and stinking, and this money you spend on the food going for it to go bad. Not too much there, but if you decide that like you just want to run on the gas, the option is there. Your freezer, of course. Now, when this thing goes to cool down, it is going to take about 8 hours, and your freezer will be the first thing to cool. Typically, how these fridges cool is from the top down. Once your freezer reaches its temperature, your fridge will start to cool to what it needs to be. And like I said, that's about an 8 hour period. Your typical temperature ranges on these this is around negative, I'd say 0, about 5 degrees plus or minus from that, so -5 to 5, maybe 10 for these. But each time you open it, you're going to lose a significant amount of cold air inside of there, and it takes time for it to come back to temperature. That is a typical complaint that customers tend to have with these fridges, but ultimately it's about how much you open it and close it. It takes about an hour for it to go down 4 degrees after you've opened it a single time. And if you stand there and hold it open, then it's going to take time for it to cool back down to where it needs to be. All right, I'm just going to do this front one, but this stovetop, you're just going to turn to the light position, and you're going to hit your little spark. You will see this little spark down there. You see your igniters right here. It just creates a spark from that igniter to the top of this as the propane's coming out you've got a nice pretty blue flame. Typically, if you've got a blue flame lifting off and going out, the pressure of your propane is too high. If you've got just a plain orange flame, your propane pressure is too low. But this is perfect. So these typically are really timeless stovetops. You don't really have much problems out of these. These things have been around so long, but yeah, that's pretty much it. But,
Right.
I don't know that there's too much else. If you have questions, you can always call us up here at Camping World. There's always technicians ready to be on the phone to hammer out any kind of concerns that you may have. And if you have any trouble, man, just give us a call. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, bud.